to ESL One Frankfurt 2016. Game number 2 is not too far away. We were busy in the break arguing over the answers to the question. I went with D, I went with Swindles. Forgot about the fact it wasn't actually Nirosh, but you know, it's okay. Hotbit has to have written those questions, right?
Yes.
Every time.
They're very memey.
Besides, like,
me.
basic multiple choice test taking, if you don't know the answer, it's always C, man.
It's always the Spanish answer, absolutely. We're going to get into game 2. Bamba, what are we going to see game 2 in terms of draft? You said we were going to see a fairly standard first draft, feel each other. Now Fnatic are behind.
Liquid actually kind of went crazy in that game.
Yeah, so do you expect Fnatic to go a bit wild?
I hope they do. I hope they bring out Enigma, you know, as a last stand, bring out the big shots.
Do they need to?
I think they need to.
Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah. What about their performance in game 1, Jacob? Do you feel like it was a bit under par from what we saw at Manila?
Yeah, it wasn't very convincing. I'd like to see some Enigma as well, but I think another way to go about it in the drafting phase is taking away the supports instead. Instead of focusing on these heroes that can be replaced by each other, which we saw with the Lycanthrope and the Lone Druid and everything, you know, Fnatic, I mean, Liquid doesn't even have to play those heroes. But if you take away some of these supports that are their key supports for Kuro and Dirax.
Oh boy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's just stick with what didn't work in game 1.
I think
Radiant
Fnatic
starter again.
is just in trouble right now. That's a very, very difficult hero combo to play against for any team right now, and especially when you're talking about Liquid, where it's not just the initiation, it's just the vision that you're giving away at all times, as we saw in the last game.
Hey, I mean, at least it's not Earth Spirit.
They didn't even ban it, they just ignored it.
I mean, even apart from taking fights, I thought our casters analyzed it very, very well in the last match, that Liquid knew Fnatic wanted to sort of run this death ball strat, and they, because they had that scouting information at all times, they were going to choose where and when the engagement occurred. The first big engagement that they took was after they got a free pickoff, right?
Do you feel that the Darkseer ban obviously forces out the Lifestealer? They banned the Lifestealer the first time around. Do you feel like Liquid have played that perfectly in a way that they've had that Darkseer and then Fnatic have gone, okay, let's get rid of the Darkseer, and immediately Liquid go, wow, then you give us the Lifestealer. It's kind of played into their hands, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, worth mentioning is that Fnatic is on the Radiant side again, so that's why they, as Bambi said earlier, you can't let Liquid have Slaughter on the Dire side. So.
But I think Lifestealer is a way bigger hero than Starter right now.
Do you not feel like they could have banned it rather than picked it though?
I would have picked Nyx over Starter. I was Fnatic by far.
Lifestealer's reached that status now, similar to where Earth Spirit was in MDL, that so many teams, even after the nerf, and he's gone down quite a bit in pub win percentage in 688, but so many teams value him so highly that when you're not first pick, you ban it. When you're first pick, you pick it.
Yeah,
pretty much.
But of course, this is partially why my brain is reeling. Fnatic letting it go through as second pick. It's just.
And that bounty as well, it's just like a reaction to the Ricky. It's not really their own plan. They're just reacting to Liquid right now.
It does feel like they're being led through the draft, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just Liquid forcing their hand, basically.
Okay, so the Drow is an early one. They've used that already in the group stage yesterday, and banned in the first game today as well.
And again, it's just that's a lot about tempo, that Fnatic likes to run these 5-man death ball strats, and the Drow strats in that vein, they're ready so much earlier than one based around a Medusa.
Yeah, do you feel like that's kind of where they fell over in that first game? Didn't have that?
The Drow strat?
Yeah. No, in the first game today. They didn't have enough push.
I felt like that.
With the Drow being banned.
No,
they just misplayed it.
Yeah, I'm with Bambo on this. I think their lineup was excellent. I think they did a great job in the draft last game.
So you're going to put it more on execution?
Yep.
And itemization.
Yeah, and item. Yeah. None of you like the items.
But even then, I still don't think the itemization was the biggest part of their problem, right?
I think the biggest issue was, against a good team like Liquid, you can make one little mistake, but if you put two together, it's much more than the sum. And between the itemization and a few execution errors, it
all adds up.
The thing is, though, they could have pushed in and used the Medusa as a tank with their push lineup in that regard, and just had the Juggernaut be the DPS, and that would have worked fine if they used the window of opportunity they had, but they didn't.
It was a pretty small window, to be fair, though.
Well, it was like a 5-minute window, I think.
Same second phase ban.
Yeah, same second phase ban.
What Fnatic is going to pick against this? They need something that can like disjoint the Nyx Ricky combo.
Isn't it? Oh, yeah, they're thinking about off-lane heroes, so they're just gonna let them have the Earth Spirit if they want it.
That's what I thought we were going to see in the last match. This is just such a liquid draft right now. Okay. And that's going to be their DPS solution. They're going to have mid one, most likely on a mid farming Invoker, Exorc build.
I don't see they have anything against the Nyx. It's gonna be a hard game for Fnatic already.
10 seconds remaining.
They can kite him around.
5 seconds remaining.
It's really hard.
Yeah,
the Ricky blinks in, instant, he jumps you.
It's a lot on this Invoker having a good start.
And even have the glimpse to like bring him back to the Nyx. So like they give him the skills on a platter.
Yeah. It's really about who keeps tabs on who. If it's the Ricky running around scouting out Fnatic, or if it's the Bounty Hunter running around controlling where Liquid is.
But the Bounty can't really control a Ricky though, because Ricky is naturally invis. Like it's really hard to track an invis hero without invis. He has to have a really good game to have enough gold for like a lot of centuries.
Interestingly, Earth Spirit left on the table, probably not going to be picked up by Liquid because obviously they have their two supports now, but Fnatic run that hero very well themselves.
Faceless Void.
It's kind of weird pickup though, with the Nyx. It's hard to execute.
Would you have gone for Nature's Prophet?
Probably. Something that can like mobility, that can join up with the Ricky Nyx combo.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
But they kind of lack the ground control though.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think they were worried that they didn't have enough team fight execution.
You feel like that's a bit of a block pick as well?
Not so much. Fnatic already have their offlane.
Yeah, they do.
And Safe Lane Void, some teams value it pretty highly, but I don't believe Fnatic's one of them.
No. Did play it twice, but not that way against the Lions in their group game.
Team Liquid.
Fnatic's gonna go for the death ball again.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can execute now.
Yeah, the big deal though is that are they going to be able to protect the Invoker mid? So I think Liquid's going to be able to roam on that hero pretty badly.
Yeah.
Couldn't Fnatic actually play the Phantom Assassin?
It's possible, but
You don't feel like, I don't know, like Sven's a better pick?
Depends on what they want to do, but I'm just thinking it's pretty good against the heroes on Liquid side right now.
But imagine having Nyx like with Echo Saber, Armlet, MKB. He just triple hits you and you're done.
Right.
If he hits you.
If he hits you.
Oh, you said MKB, okay.
MKB, so he's going to.
But Nyx gets like, he farms really fast.
They're
So
going to ban the PA, interesting.
Turn to ban.
Great minds think alike.
You don't want to finish that?
What?
I'm out.
Okay, final ban and final pick.
Yeah, once again, we're looking for Fata's hero last. This has kind of becoming a theme for
5
Liquid.
seconds remaining.
But again, you know, the fact that they're running a sort of smaller hero pool mid doesn't matter because there's so much focus on banning out the offliners. They're going to ban the Alchemist, but you still got the Death Prophet and the Dragon Knight left on the table that are Fata's staples.
Yeah, I think a Death Prophet would be good right now if you can get past the laning phase and the harass from the Bounty Hunter.
Oh, wow, okay.
even
There's
Puck
your
again.
next solution.
I still think Puck is really good for them again. Some Puck or Dragon Knight.
I mean, Fata Puck, one of the most played player-hero combinations in the history of Dota 2, but they've just gone away from it recently.
As have many teams.
Yeah.
After the
And
terrible
it's actually really
results.
good against Ursa as well.
5 seconds remaining.
I feel like it's more likely a Dragon Knight here.
Oh, look at that Fata grin.
5 seconds remaining.
Does that signal a return to the past? I want to see the Puck. His Puck play is so good. And they're going to stick to the DP. It's safe. I still think Fnatic have a window if they can execute here.
They need to snowball really hard with the Bounty Ursa.
I think this is a very well-rounded lineup from Liquid compared to last time around. So I'd say they have, draft-wise, I think both lineups are really good. I think it's a 50-50 toss-up, but if you look at last game...
I think again, if it goes to mid to late game, like Liquid has it in the bag, but it's all about the early game for Fnatic.
Okay.
I had to, like,
I hate
either-
having to agree with Milk.
All right. Yeah.
If you want to be right.
It's a tough call for Naz, but he's had to agree with Melk this time round. Let's head back to our commentary team for game number 2 and find out whether Liquid can make it through 2-0.
Thanks, Paul. If I want to be right, I just follow the beautiful minds of PyCat as well as Blitz. Boys, who do you think has the advantage?
Well, I think I've learned my lesson. I will no longer side with the Radiant Slaughter. It's a big no-no. I mean, 3 games from the major
even with
finals.
the early Blink Dagger he had in game 1?
Last game, yeah. Even with the early Blink Dagger, the Radiant Slaughter, it's a no-go. I think also just, I was actually expecting Fnatic to ban this Death Prophet. Liquid seem to have pretty much all their comfort heroes, bar maybe the Void. I haven't seen them play that much, but it's really good against what Fnatic have against the Invoker and all of these low cooldown heroes.
And we talked about it, you and me, I worked with Liquid for the major. You know our style,
Yeah.
and we both said, oh, DP's the obvious pick here, coming into the 5th pick. And then Fnatic opt to ban the Alchemist instead, which I don't really think provides Liquid with that much. Like, I think Fnatic this time around, they've got a lot of ways to deal with Alch. Like, Ursa's always going to be good against Alchemist. That was a hero that was used to counter OG in the finals for that first game, if you remember. That Ursa just ripped apart the Alch every single time. So it is a little bit odd for me to see Fnatic last ban the Alch.
Yeah, that was kind of strange. Probably because they lost to it just now and they felt that the Alchemist was what made them lose. But I still think when they already have the Void and the Nake's course, I don't think you ban the Alchemist there.
Well, we pose that kind of question too when we're having our chat between the games. Like, Fnatic, are they being influenced by other things? Like, are they just scared going up against Team Liquid? Is this actually forcing them to make bad decisions in Dota?
I think Fnatic, when I see them play and when they're on their A game, they play very good, logical Dota. Everything that they do, you can almost always say that makes sense. Like, the play that they went for, that made sense. When they played against LGD, it was a little bit more free-flowy, but at the same time, they stepped up. And in the 2 series that we saw at Manila against Liquid, it just felt like they were off their game. Like, that wasn't super logical Dota to me. And in that last game, we almost unanimously agreed that Fnatic had the better draft. And yeah, Fnatic, it just seemed like it got into their own heads.
It's like we want to see Fnatic do more because we know they can do more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like, this is a wonderful team. Like, even during the group stage games, like, Net was going off his sorry, not Net.
Sore spot, man.
Oh wow, that happened.
Toby,
DJ,
not cool.
I'm sorry. DJ was doing absolutely amazing. Like, his plays were like carrying Fnatic through to victory. They seemed to be able to rally behind him, and now it's like I kind of want to see that from him. But then you put him on a Shadow Shaman. So now you're giving him a hero where maybe he can make some plays, but it wasn't like his Earth Spirit that we saw, his Earth Shaker that we saw yesterday.
I mean, Tusk is, in general, one of those heroes that actually does make a lot of plays. I just felt that the last game, they were playing... They're way too scared, Fnatic. What it seems to me is that Fnatic are just scared of playing against Liquid. They're kind of playing against themselves right now, more. Their own fear of playing against this team.
Yeah. We saw in that last game, the Tusk should have had a free time just because they weren't focusing on that bottom lane. Slardar was getting absolute free farm in top. We felt like DJ could do a lot. And in my opinion, I think DJ is the most impactful player in Southeast Asian Dota. Like, whatever this guy does, he can just flat out win you a game. I remember that the Enigma game against LGD at the major, even Kuro, who he doesn't really give out that many compliments, he said this guy just completely won them the game. He's like, why don't we all do that? Just play like DJ. And in that last game, you never felt his presence. I was never like, wow, DJ made a sick snowball save or shards or anything like that. Just never happened.
He had some of those moments though, like the shards were there, but you never really felt it was because there was never any follow-up to it. It was like, hey, we can block him in, but there's nothing that's ever going to come from it. Fnatic, by the way, like, they smoked inside the fountain. TP2 heroes out very quickly, and has put Ohio in a bit of an odd spot between the towers.
I think he's okay.
What is he doing up here?
He's just making sure he's got ward vision. He's checking for runes.
Do you think he's going to try to pull the wave?
Yeah, I think so too.
Boots?
And Liquid's lineup, they can't contest it.
Yeah, the only way is if Farah can get close with wounds, but I mean, he still has boots, so he doesn't really die, I think.
At least he knows what he's up against thanks to that Observer ward that's down. Kuro is slipping himself in behind Fnatic. He has the choice to try and contest the rune. If he looks at all 3 heroes, he'll notice there are no sentry wards on any of the Fnatic players.
Tell me, Blitz, do you think this is an Exort Invoker game? Or are you cross Vex?
Oh, he's already got 1 point up in Extort.
I know he does.
Oh, you're trying to do it before he saw it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. I don't know. I personally really like in games like this, Quas Wex, just because I feel like it's really hard to die. But at the same time, I think they would lack for damage then.
You think even with the Slaughter and the Ursa?
Maybe. That's why I was a little bit hesitant, but I think it's just mid one's playstyle more than anything. Like if we saw MP, I think this would be
exactly.
guaranteed.
That's what I was kind of thinking. When they drafted this Slaughter with the Invoker, I was thinking MP. How MVP play with those heroes.
Oh, bottom lane, Kuro getting locked in for a little bit. He's out of range of the Sentry Ward now, but loses half his life thanks to the extra stacks of Fury Slice of Mushi.
I feel like what Ohio does here in this offlane is something we should see more, because it's so efficient. You get an entire free wave. He gets a free level 2 with the Slaughter, and he actually got all 4 CS under his own tower. So free level 2, which means he has some gold, he has his boots, he has his level 2, he even finds a ward. It's a great start for the Slaughter. Yeah, mind you, he is Radiant though.
You're never gonna let that one down.
Nope.
Win game if you play Slaughter Diacide, lose it if you play at Radiant.
Yes.
We learned that the hard way, Topes. I will say this combination though, the Lifestealer into Riki is something that we saw DC actually use against us in a scrim.
Yeah.
And we saw that and we're like, that is unbelievable.
It's a Misery special.
It's the Misery Classic.
Sooner or later.
Once we saw that, we're just like, DC is a really legit team. Like these guys are going to be underrated.
Well, because they find one strat?
No, it was just the way that they were showing us something different than a lot of what the other teams had at that point. And it's just the style of Dota where you're forcing things to win. And I really like that. But Crow going to pick up this bottom rune. Bounty Hunter nowhere near it. Sardar even going to find that regen for himself.
He's already sprinting up to creep skip it again. So if at first you succeed, try again.
He's at 8 CS. I think once again Ohio's incredibly happy, and he's going for this again, Pycat. I know you called it before as well that he was going to go for these pulls. And I think that worked.
Kuro right underneath it. This could be first blood. They had to back up from it. The Sunstrike on target. Kuro is going to go down. Mid one will claim it. Not only giving him a good start, helping 3-4-3 along his way. There's a dangerous thing to feed a mid one Invoker.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, this ward that Fnatic have gotten out, the one up on the sort of high position there, that Ohio, I think, placed, is very crucial. When you're doing this, having that ward helps you so much, because he sees that there's no one around to stop
mind
it.
control? Nah, he's got time walk, he's fine. I thought maybe that Hex or Shackles would last longer, than realize it's a level 2 Shadow Shaman.
Still gonna get good harass and just force him back, especially since they did devote 2 heroes to this. And again, that's a trade that Liquid always makes. You're gonna allow the enemy offlaner to get a little bit more than you'd like, but at the same time, you're gonna try to force things and make it difficult for this Ursa to farm. Like, if you look at Ursa, 9 CS.
Yeah, exactly. Why is Mushi not in the lane farming? Why is the Rust standing there farming?
It seems like Fnatic seems to be more confident mid lane.
It sort of looks like Mushi is trying to zone the void so that DJ can get farm.
Yep. That's actually exactly what's been happening. That's like, because could DJ even zone the void? Like, is Mushi just a better zoner at that point? But is it worth the sacrifice to your Ursa?
No, I think you just allow the void to get some farm, and you're okay with that. We saw that in the last game too, Pycat, that you were wondering, why does this Medusa have so little farm? And it's just because he was consistently trying to zone out the offlaner, and you saw the difference. Matama Man, he just gave up on that Slardar. He's like, I'm just going to get my own farm, and we saw how much that paid off.
Oh, 3-4-3 just activated the scan. Fighter threw it in behind him. I think he's really worried that there was the bounty hunter stalking him, but now he's picked up a haste rune and 3 new bottle charges. He's fine. But this difference now in CS, like, Matamaman's at 30 CS, 4 minutes in, compared to an Ursa who is exactly 50% of that CS.
Yeah, he's getting, that's unbelievable right now. Getting doubled up.
The Slardar has more net worth than the Ursa at this point.
It was like that last game too,
Fada,
right?
mid lane, Invoker, gonna drop down the meteorite, and Fada in a lot of trouble. Maybe with that Spirit Siphon, he can stay alive. How much is it balanced? It's gonna be balanced enough. Invoker will find now the second kill of the game for himself. On bottom lane, DJ being initiated on. You got mind control as well as Kuro behind him. Now the Shackles, and Mushi opens up a mind control. He won't have the time to time walk off the damage. And Fnatic, they get a kill. It's into the man who's farming on bottom lane, DJ.
Still had the Hex available for himself as well, so they could have overkilled that if they wanted to. And early game, I really like this kind of style from Fnatic. They're being a lot more aggressive than they were in that last game. They're just taking risks, like you said.
You might feel Ohio's presence again too. 3-4-3 is out the front with the old Venom, slows him down. Ohio rotates himself over. So quick, moving himself from the top lane. And they know Fire's got no Spirit Siphons left, so now 4-0 on the board going the way of Fnatic.
Yeah, this is actually gonna hurt Liquid a lot. The third death, the third kill there for the Invoker.
Wait, what was that?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
That was, I don't know, someone dancing to the Fnatic victory tune.
Party.
Either way.
This is ours.
Anywho, Fada dying there, he TPs back to the mid lane and dies right away. He still doesn't have his boots. He's gonna feel this. That death, the first death, that's okay. The second one is gonna hurt him.
I know you guys are talking about this, actually, going back for an Iron Talon. You've now got Ohio technically doing that after Tranquils with a crossover on Jirax. Do they glimpse him? Yep, they will, but mid one's here. The smoke screen's up, 3-4-3 also being involved. The Meteorite's gonna drop. Ohio can't get himself out of the wall, and Matamba wants to keep beating in to mid one. It's not gonna happen, however. Unless he's gonna, he's actually gonna chase over.
Mid one's
the
out of
TP
mana.
support's coming. It's on the way, but will it be enough? Mushi wants to jump forward. Does he have enough movement speed? He's going to come over from Matamba. They alacrity him up. The wall from Jirax actually holding Mushi at bay, and they isolate 3-4-3 thanks to the sentry ward that was planted down. Team Liquid will actually get the kill on the bounty hunter, who was just lingering behind. It ends up being an extra kill for Liquid.
Toby, I think you're lucky that Matomba Man is not participating in the Macho Man contests. That guy would actually, he would just win it so easily.
Dude, his hair trumps all of us. I'm fine with that.
There's one thing you can never question, and it's just Matamba Man's willingness to run at people with no aims. He doesn't even really care if he gets a kill. He says, I'm establishing dominance.
All things fall.
That's the way it goes.
Spoken like a true Macho Man.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm fine. He can have my title. I don't want it anyway.
Toby, I would not have chased that Invoker halfway across the Ancients. At some point, I would have said, man, I got to give up on that one.
It ended up giving them a kill, though, right?
Yeah, it did.
An extra one, technically.
That was a weird situation, though. That was a gifted kill. 3-4-3 didn't have to make that play.
It's a bonus.
Maybe they just thought they had more of it. Once Mushi arrived, but then Mushi got locked out by the wall. That positioning from Jirax on the wall, it came up just in time to keep the Ursa out. All he could do was battle up against an illusion that was in front of him.
Oh, they know that Jirax is here with the level 6.
They just misbottled. I think Fada was looking for all three charges now. Gets initiated on, Ohio rotates in. That Disruptor Storm from Jirax causing some problems, but then again, Fada still betting down. Jirax will be taken out. TJ low on life, the sentries are planted so they can see Kuro running out of here. A 2-for-1 trade-off because Kuro wants to keep moving. No level 6, so there's no amplification, but Kuro walking back into the Radiant Sentry ward. 3-4-3, he was about to attack, but then realized he was all alone.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, we call that the
attack.
Disruptor rotating into the mid lane. When he's level 5 or 6, depending on if you're ahead in the mid lane, we call it the China rotation. All the Chinese teams always do it. And if you know that this is going to come, you just bring one more hero than they have, and you're always going to come out on top.
Yeah, they've got so many more tanky heroes as well, and there was no angle to find that Invoker. And I really like this focus on the mid lane to try to shut down this DP, because especially as a mid laner, you know that it's just hard to catch up as DP. You never really want to be in a position where you lose the lane.
Yeah, and also we saw, big Fada, good for Liquid. No Fada on the team, not so good for Liquid.
Dude, don't blame Heen, man.
Yeah, he did a good job.
I'm not blaming Heen, I'm just saying, they need Fada.
You need Fada on your A game. This is the worst part, by the way. When you drop the Rost awards and you feed away 300 gold for 200 tower damage, that's the problem with the hero.
They don't really have much more, this might be a little bit nicer. Catching out Jirax, he's just going on a warning mission. Mushi wants to kill. There was a hopeful wall that Jirax thought he could make, but didn't end up happening. But how do you actually get an earlier push harassment to the tower? This Invoker's still trying to build into his Midas. He's not really a presence that lets you do that.
I think presence, right now you're just top. Oh, at top. Ohio is definitely dead.
Yep.
I think Fnatic are right now are happy with the pace of the game. They're getting levels on 3-4-3. They've gotten pickoffs, and when this Invoker gets Midas Pike out,
mind control. He got an early bash. He commits the Chronosphere as well. 3-4-3 wants to get out. He actually turns to attack, allowing the wall to come up from Georax and mind control. Time walks over. Gets the last attack in. A little greedy there from 3-4-3.
That's twice now, Toby, that he's trying to make a play like that for no reason. Doesn't really have to go for moves, but just feeds away a kill.
I feel like Liquid are still, they're very fine with the way this game is going. Just look how much farm Matumbaman has. Sure, Fada is suffering a bit, but eventually he's gonna catch up. He's gonna nuke some creeps. He's gonna run around in the jungle. He's gonna use his second ultimate skill called Spirit Siphon. We've talked about that bits.
It's not. The Exorcism isn't really the ultimate. That's what people have to realize about Death Prophet. It's how many charges of Spirit Siphon do you have? Because that's what's really going to enable you to fight more than anything into the mid game. Like, the Exorcism is nice for sieging towers and doing Roshan, but you don't rely on it as much as a DP player. And this play is about to happen. This is the DC Classic.
It just got scouted though. This three-man smoke actually got scouted out by Team Liquid. They saw him come out by Fnatic. They saw them come in. There was the observer wall between the tier 1 and tier 2 tower, and Mushi's already leaving. Like, DJ's making a break for the tree line. In 1 second time, he can TP out and starts it straight away. They put the wall down, gives the vision, so they'll find the kill over on DJ, so they do get something for their efforts, but they won't find anything more. And already, Fnatic, they try and push elsewhere. They rotate up towards the top tier 1.
That was a very fast rotation. I mean, fast reaction by Jerex. They see the smoke pop right away, and he just scouts with the kinetic field in the jungle and gets the glimpse off.
I do like how Fnatic is reading the game right now, though, Pycat. I feel like for the last 2 gank attempts, they've seen it coming. The odd part, though, is that they're still losing heroes. That's the part that doesn't 100% make sense, just because both times they've had wards behind that tower, and they spotted out the gank attempt, and Liquid are still finding something on the map.
Mushi. If he walks out any further, okay, well, they can just do that too. Drag him back in. He's going to go into the enrage, trying to gain as much of the damage as possible. Now support's going to arrive in the form of mid one. Fada gets destroyed!
Oh boy.
Ricky is able to actually jump into that ultimate once again. So Kuro, with the tricks of the trade, buys a little bit more time, but still cannot escape this Fnatic lineup. Mid one arrived just in the nick of time. They take the tier 1 tower, but it's a trade-off because Liquid was still pushing the bottom one. So it's tier 1 for tier 1, but 2 hero kills to Fnatic.
Yeah, that Urza really manned up there. With the, you saw, the amp damage plus the overpower. It's just scary Urza.
We missed that kind of Mushi in that last game. You were pointing it out, you said he just looked afraid to fight. And you really can't be. When you have your Ursa pop his ultimate, just commit to the fight, see what's going to happen. Otherwise, you're going to die in that position anyways.
Yeah, this game is, it's going better for Fnatic than the last one for sure. Mid one going for the bottle into 4-staff build on Invoker.
That is odd. I know you're the Invoker player here. Any thoughts on that?
I suppose it's against maybe the Nakes and to some extent DP Void. If he can kind of get out of the Chrono. The Chrono is hard, probably for the Nakes.
I'm more surprised by the bottle.
Yeah, the bottle as well. And now he sold his Snow already. I know this is something Weeha always talks about. He hates selling these items early on in the game with Invoker.
You feel like you're just losing out on value?
Yeah. But hey, if it works for you, you know.
Hey, it is mid one. Gotta see where he goes with it.
It's like Mushi was trying to prepare himself to fight inside the Radiant jungle. Thanks to the Observer Wall, so actually planted down, yeah, 3-4-3. He doesn't actually find the Dire Obs, he just finds the Dire Sentry, but that's still a damn good thing for him. There's very deep warding coming out from Liquid, so they see wherever Fnatic is farming. So if Fnatic leave their jungle, Liquid will know about it.
And that's the best thing about having a Riki or a Bounty Hunter on your team. It's almost impossible to deward, because you can get so deep into the jungle, and you're never really sure what they're doing there. Because you can just be scouting, you could be warding. It's hard for Fnatic to really know where he's been.
Yeah, and this is, in this game, you see the epic battle between the Riki and the Bounty Hunter.
They're just running around.
It's a long love story of Dota.
The battle of the Invis. This fight in mid might start at the perfect time if 3-4-3, like he's already got the tracker over on Matumbaman, but it's the Blink Dagger that's arrived for Ohio. He'll walk underneath the Dire Obs. Haven't seen a ping out just yet. Matumbaman's hanging around a very long time. The crush will come, the amplification up, the Sunstrike's on its way, and he'll go down very, very quickly. Even with the armlet, He didn't have time to even use it properly.
That's a very big kill for Fnatic. I want to see Fnatic, I want them to either go into this Roche
Can they actually
or
slip
get the
Roche?
tier 2 bottom.
I think the Roche is the bigger play here for them.
Yeah.
You do have the Ursa, he's pretty quick at it.
There's a Chrono available though, but this Roche is going to die really, really, really fast.
3-4-3s underneath the sentry ward, but Kuro, okay, they're going to glimpse it back over, so they can get the kill over on the Bounty Hunter just north of the pit. But Mushi's still going to finish his job. He's still got the Aegis the Immortal. Mind control very low. The blink up! The crush will be there. Mushi joins him as well. It's basically the double Bash Brothers straight out of the pit with a fresh Aegis the Immortal. And now it's Fnatic who can actually look towards the tier 2 tower on bottom lane.
That is very important for Fnatic's lineup. On Radiant side, being able to pick up that first Roshan.
Yeah, and what's better is they didn't even have to commit the Rasta wards to that Roche. So they're gonna have those Rasta wards now for the tier 2. Get the tier 2, just as they killed the Roche, they also gotta pick off on Matumba.
In that last game, this is where they kind of got pigeonholed, going for this bottom tier 2 tower, but now they've got Forge Spirits if they need it, they've got the Rasta wards, and they can play off of this now. They're gonna make sure they go for this top lane.
Dire's bottom tower.
They seem to be a
like
lot
the
more
idea.
willing as well to use
Yeah.
the blink daggers, actually be aggressive with the heroes.
Now they can actually bring the aggression for once. In the last game, there was the problem with the Alchemist was defending the towers with Acid Spray, Radiance. Now there's no one. No one can really defend this tower from Liquid. They have to go in. They have to commit to the fight.
Nice entry timing. Jirax threw it down the second 3-4-3, walked up the hill. Mind Control will jump over as well. 3-4-3 taking over the double crush. Sunstrike's on Mind Control with a follow-up Hex. The Shackles will be there, just locking down Jirax for a bit, allowing 3-4-3 to move over. And these track kills are really starting to roll in for Fnatic.
Yeah, this is right now an unmitigated disaster for Liquid, and that was so well read by Fnatic. They TP 2 heroes at the top, smoke, go into the jungle thinking that if Liquid's not going to defend bottom, they're most likely going to go for the jungle or continue to farm. And the idea behind it was good, and it allows them to collapse instantly. Kuro's behind these 3 heroes, but this is not an initiation that you want to start.
Yeah, they're gonna wait for this Void and Disruptors to spawn.
And they got only 4 seconds. The Fnatic is hanging around, but you've still got Nagus the Immortal in the hands of Mushi. You may feel confident to stand here. There's your jump, DJ. Okay, well, he doesn't last very long. Ohio will put a quick amplification off. And then just retreat away. They don't want to get caught out by this Chronosphere. The time walks back off cooldown again, but it's blink dagger time for Fnatic.
Yeah, you don't want to commit the Chrono just to that Mushi Aegis. No guarantee that you're going to be able to kill him twice, especially with that Invoker there. He'll commit to the fight.
Well, they do find him now. Kuro walks up into the ancient area. The glimpse drags him back a little bit, but Kuro didn't attack, so Mushi's blink dagger was still available to him.
I just don't think they want to commit any ultimates right now to him. And with the Slardar still alive, even with the Shadow Shaman dead, when you have the Aegis like this is the biggest thing about Ursa. It just enables him to be a fighter. You never want to collapse on this guy and all-in commit. Now he's almost got a BKB, so the Aegis timer, once it runs out, they're still going to be able to fight. And that's the key here for Fnatic, that there's no stop.
Well, goodbye, Jirax.
Yeah, the difference from last game is that Fnatic they're not running around. They don't have to go around as 5 all the time. They can do these. This is what the Invoker allows them. With the Sunstrike, they can have the Slardar run around with +1, and he's always going to be able to get kills with the Sunstrike. The Crush is a perfect setup for Sunstrikes, and you can have a Bounty Hunter there. It could be a Rasta, could be an Ursa. And even the Ursa running around with a Rasta, they can also set up kills now that the Rasta has picked up his Blink Dagger.
This comfort zone is just getting better and better for Fnatic. All the items starting to arrive, and they've almost removed all the outer towers. Slurping wards are up for DJ as Fnatic approach the tier 2. Kuro's moving forward. There's no detection currently, so Kuro will see Mushi.
Yeah, we have yet to see a big Chrono though for Mind Control, and they're smoking up now. I want to see if they're going to probably contest this tower.
The sentry's down, so the second the Kuro jumps, he's going to be revealed. They know this because they also de-warded out Liquid's ward by putting down that sentry. But the Master Open wards are doing the job. Mushi's not putting himself at risk at all, and now Ohio. Okay, they got the amplification over on Kuro, and the crush hits on 3! The Sunstrike's there! Mushi, he almost gets them all. Mind Control will Chrono up, catching out DJ and mid one. They need more damage, do they have enough? Mid one's going to drop, Invoker and Slardar both down. DJ won't be able to retreat out from this one. Team Liquid is saved by a huge Chronosphere, and they might find more. The glimpse back over. Fardas there willing to go. He's still got 2 Spirit Siphons available. So this Ursa, they need the attack straight away. Don't let him out there, and they've got it. Smoke screen's down. A triple kill from Matumba. The top tier 2 tower is still lost, but Liquid are going to be happy with that.
Where was... I'm not actually sure because I don't have the PC in front of me, but it felt like the Ursa was never really felt in that fight. They couldn't really get his Aegis going at any time. And with no BKB on him, just kind of a weird scenario for Fnatic to fight around.
Yeah, I think he got caught inside. There were 3 heroes inside the Chrono, which were also being damaged by the Static Storm. Then he lost his allies. He still had the Aegis, but when you spawn as an Ursa without any allies against 5 heroes, you're not gonna do much.
Yeah.
Do you think that Fnatic had to rush something like that? I guess they had the... That's
I feel like it was fine for them to go for that tower. The only thing is they should know that Liquid are gonna wanna defend this. And this Chrono, they haven't used this Chrono much before this fight. So they should be aware that there's gonna be a Chrono.
And they caught the one here who you really didn't want to have caught by that, like mid one caught in the middle of it. You actually thought you had the better initiation. Like you got a 3-man crush, and then Mushi right on top of it too. Like they both blinked in at the right time and started doing the big terrible damage. And Mushi needed one more paw swipe, and he would have killed off Mind Control.
Yeah.
You would have actually never have had that Chronosphere if he just had that little bit more time to attack.
That reset into the fight was huge. And Fnatic, I think, probably the biggest thing is they just didn't really respect the Chrono. They were like, oh, we're winning all these fights. They can't get any damage out while the lifestealers in this game. But it's still a Chrono at the end of the day.
Yeah, you don't expect this Chrono to deal so much damage, but coupled up with a Static Storm, the Static Storm deals a lot of damage.
Mushi is there. Okay, is Liquid looking at this just saying this is bait?
Yeah, it's a BKB Ursa. You don't want to go on that anyways.
Looks like Liquid still want to try and find some kind of fight.
They could get Ohio. He does have Force Staff though. Makes this kind of difficult.
You can't just smoke screen and hold him in.
They know he's in there though.
Oh, there's your jump. Smoke screens up. Ohio force-starts himself out. Gets the double crush on Fada as well as Mind Control. It doesn't stop Kuro and Matoma from going for it. Jirax, he'll be hunted down by Mooshbit again. A great Chronosphere catching mid one. This is 2 times in a row. Combining it up with the Exorcism. The Master Serpent Wards is still a bit of a problem, but Matoma's trying to take care of that. And then Liquid can focus on towers.
Yeah, that was the Fada silence. I think he caught 3 heroes with that. The Rasta was just about to, they were just about to kill the one hero who was getting Checo. And Fada gets a 3-man silence and they just go in with this Chrono. Yeah.
You had to commit the 10-second BKB as well. You notice that the Ursa jumps on Jirax, who he already got everything off. And he runs around in a circle, wastes the 10-second BKB from the Ursa, makes absolute certain that Mushi can't re-engage in that fight. And now Liquid know that BKB is down. They're immediately going to go for this invest play at bottom. And so much of the map control that Fnatic once had completely slipped through their fingers.
At least they have a lineup this time around which is capable of getting it back. Like you've still got a lineup which is really great at just hunting.
Yeah, but an even better hunter.
This helps.
Combo.
My control is tracked up at the moment. This is going to last for a little bit longer. Now he's going to be amplified and Mushi. Say goodbye to your faceless void. And yes, the power combo is making us play for the mid.
I don't know if they have enough though to kill mid.
Oh, sentries. 3-4-3. 3-4-3. That's a surprise.
That was not the play.
At least they might get some kind of revenge. Like they're chasing down Kuro, amplification and track once again. And you have to ask yourself the question, okay, you end up killing off a bounty hunter, but you're still giving track kills over to Fnatic. Gold advantage wise, yeah, they were almost 10k and this has been heavily reversed. Same for the experience as well.
I mean, it's a level 1 track. It's 40 gold, 40 bonus gold for 2 heroes. Don't think it's that huge. I'm curious though, this Invoker, he's going for BKB now. I feel like this build is kind of wonky.
It doesn't allow him to scale late.
It definitely doesn't.
But is it then just respect more to Disruptor?
The Ags on that hero. Yeah, but I don't think you can afford buying a BKB this early on. There's still the Chrono, there's a Naix who can still kill you. I just think you shut yourself down way more than you help yourself surviving.
Yeah, I think
you need to rely on good positioning this game, I think.
No, I completely agree with you. This part of the issue with playing against Invoker is you always feel like you're under pressure because this hero continues to scale. Like you see the Midas come out and you feel pressured. You feel like you have to make a move around the map. Then he grabs the next item and the next item. And once you see the Ags, you're just like, dang, we should have done something during this time period. We should have abused this hero. But by going for the BKB, it kind of shows all your intent at once. Liquid know for a fact that you have to take, they're going to take the upcoming fights. They're all inning for this next Roshan fight.
Observer and Sentry is going to get scouted out. It's just by the Sentry of Team Liquid. Should also flag the fact there, and we showed it on the screen before, there's a fresh gem over on Ohio. So he's trying to find that quick opening so Kuro can't surprise them anymore. And they haven't actually shown this gem either.
And look how well Fada has caught up now. We saw he was 2 deaths. Now he's almost on par with the Invoker's net worth. He's 800 behind, and he was level 5 on the Invoker was level 7. The Invoker had a very early Midas.
Oh, Kuro, they jump in, the cross will be there, but Tubberman's going to jump out. And Mushi's not ready to fight him just yet. They used all their burst to kill off Kuro.
That's another that's a 9-second BKB now used. And they get dewarded once again.
Commitment of heavy items. Might have been a little bit easier too if that diffusal blade charge was up for Mushi.
Yeah, I think they just got scared. Mushi probably just assumed that the rest of Liquid was going to come in, but this is what makes that Riki Lifestealer combo so incredible, just because you don't care if Riki dies. He's just the vehicle. He's got no net worth. He's not going to have impact.
Yeah, he really is. You're nothing more than, you know, Kuro, he's the bus.
He's the taxi.
He's the taxi, whatever.
You got to give him more respect than that, man. He's new age. He's the Uber. Mid one's pushed out that top lane just enough that Team Liquid will have to send one man up there at least. But this happens around the same time as Roshan just spawned up. So Liquid kind of don't want to leave. They understand how quick Fnatic can be at just like mopping up Roshan.
You notice during this time too, like part of the dire advantage as well is you don't lose out on too much while you're waiting for this Roshan. You notice that Liquid farmed out the Ancient camp and they farmed out the other side camp, so they're always gaining more than anything. Mind
control. He time walked in forward then and broke his smoke. And Fnatic realized what's coming. It's a full 5-man smoke maneuver from Team Liquid. Kuro's still here in 3-4-3, hovering in close.
It's whoever gets the jump off first. So much easier for the Slaughter to get his initiation.
Yeah, but he still has to worry about the Faceless Void jumping in after. Even if he goes in, he gets a crush off. This Void, he's gonna jump in behind the Slaughter and catch the rest of his team. And then you're gonna have this Slaughter all alone.
Fnatic can still get fairly close. Now Ohio runs in. There's your jump out. Ohio needs to hold on to that gem. He'll get the crush off, four-star him down, but glues back over. The gem is lost on the front lines. Kuro's gonna pick that one up. So Slaughter's on the sidelines. There is no buyback available, and you got 3-4-3. The jump up, they went right over the top of him. But Team Liquid won't care. They're here for Roshan after killing off the Slaughter and claiming the gem.
This is really huge for Liquid as well. We talked about how we were okay with the Slaughter just because when he was on Radiant side, they got the first Roshan of the game. This second Roshan of the game is really crucial because Ursa doesn't want to just rely on that straight BKB to get into engagements.
Yeah, and Ursa, who doesn't continuously keep getting Roshes for him and his team, is the hero is just not that valuable anymore. That hero is so centered around getting Roshes. But when you are Radiant, it's so easy for Liquid to take that Roche at any point in time.
3-4-3, and it glimpses it back down. He's in range of the Sentry now, just out of range, but it won't matter. Didn't get back into Invis. Liquid were watching him the entire time they were doing Roshan.
Yeah, and if you look at how Liquid are itemizing this game, they're not under any pressure. Even though it's an Invoker with Midas and there's a Slardar and Rasta, you can see Mind Control, he's just going for this Vlad's into Manta. He doesn't feel like he has to go blink and get the fights or anything. Everyone's just playing their standard game, just doing their thing, and they're really playing like a team here, Liquid.
Yeah, Fnatic are still in an okay position. They have the top 2 net worths in the game, but like we talked about, they committed so early for these BKBs that it's not as scary, especially since the Ursa's BKB just gradually starts to go down the drain. I think it's at like 7 seconds now.
Yeah, you're close. It's sitting at 8 seconds at the moment. But there's not much left of it.
Yeah, 5-second BKB Ursa in a game like this is so hard to play.
But it seems they still want to try and force the issue. Like, they're running up. There's the vision advantage for Team Liquid. They got an Observe Ward just hovering over that hillside next to the Tier 1. Mushi slips in behind. Did he actually see G-Rex? He jumps up, finds mind control now, starts the attack. Ohio's on his way in, gets a crush over on G-Rex. So at least there's no storm to follow up, but now it's here. Ohio, forced off top of a Tumbleman, slams him down. There's your Chronosphere from mind control. They'll isolate Mushi. 3-4-3's trying to TP himself out this one. That won't be successful. Mushi, thanks to the Enrage, able to tank through and lob this underneath the mass surfboards. Tries to fight, tries to find the damage of a Tumbleman thanks to Shackles. They've got it as well. DJ can't do much more. We're going to go into the tricks of the trade. Bouncing around. DJ needs to go step for himself up. Blinks over to the tier 2 tower and away from the rest of Team Liquid. It's still a 3-for-1 trade-off of mind control. He's guessing he's in the tree line, but he's further to the south. They didn't realize that DJ blink dagger in 2-1 and he is gone. In fact, he's actually staying around because he saw the rest of Team Liquid bailed out.
Under attack.
Yeah, seeing if he can get any exit kills, but still, Liquid, they grab the tower, and more importantly, the Fortify is going to be used and more BKB charges of the Ursa. I don't know, PyCat. This is the worst kind of game to lose. When you had that definitive advantage and you were snowballing, you were doing all the things that you had to do on the Radiant side, and then it just takes one bad fight.
Yeah, but I also really feel like it comes down a lot to this. I'm not a big fan of this item build on Invoker either. The Force Staff, I could be okay with. I mean, the Force Staff and Bottle, it is already kind of a big investment because it's almost 3k gold. And then you go in for this BKB that doesn't help you scale at all. I feel like if he had just gone for the standard item build, if this was an Invoker right now with an Aghanims, he was having maybe a close to an Octarine core or something like this, you know that this hero can just scale so well. You know, he can get into this Refresher, go Shivas, whatever, and you can deal so much damage in those fights. But here, you kind of limit yourself.
Yeah, I think it's really just, like you said in the last game, it felt like Fnatic weren't willing to take risks and play to win. It was just like they were playing really defensively with both their positioning and their item builds. Because I think you're completely right there. You saw the Invoker, he had no impact in that fight. He couldn't have impact in that fight. He comes in, he drops 2 spells, then he waits. The Chrono was already expended on the Ursa. Mushi can't really do anything at that point. What are you supposed to do when you don't have 2 cores that can enable each other?
Yeah, it looked good in the start when they were making moves. And then they go back for this sort of defensive play. They lost the fight, they lost the Roche. I still think Fnatic have a chance in this game, but it is looking quite troublesome for them.
Yeah, Crow's gonna walk up here.
Yeah, Ohio's able to see it, however, thanks to the Obs and Sentries, but he's still got that stolen gem. Ohio's gem itself. So they lose the vision, the Chronosphere, perfect again, mid-1, being caught out by this. He'll BKB, forced off away, but he's losing his teammate, the Slaughter over near the Ancients. The only trade-off is Mushi, who managed to get on top of G-Rex, but Fada, now he goes to work with no help. Well, is there, he's ghost-stepped up, the Sunstrike's coming in, it TP out, it's successful from DJ. They had nothing to get rid of that Ghost Scepter. And Fnatic actually bail out with only losing the Slaughter.
I think that was a good move by Ohio. He sacrificed himself so the rest of Liquid couldn't connect to help out that Chronosphere. At the same time, you sort of win that fight. Liquid, you get the edge just because, again, BKB charges. Like, at this point in the game, BKB charges are the most valuable resource that you can possibly have.
He down to 6 seconds over on the Ursa now. Still got 9 seconds over on the Invoker. But Ursa's getting more control, so he'll be building into his into his Basher after already having the Diffusal Blade.
Yeah, this will be good for Fnatic at least. If he's going up and man fighting the Lifestealer.
Goodbye, DJ.
There was a DJ there.
Yeah.
What do you even do against that? Like unless you've got a gem, you can't walk anywhere on the map, right?
That was a sick magic trick, but this is so tough right now because he is the player that often makes all these plays happen for Fnatic, and he's just been shut down completely in both games.
What's the path to freedom then if you're Fnatic? You're falling behind now. The top 2 net worths belong to Team Liquid. You're behind by about 4k in the net worth. You're behind by over 10k in the experience.
I think the only way Fnatic win fights right now is if they can either have Mind Control miss his Chronosphere, or if they can just pick Mind Control off before the fight starts. And that would be preferably with the Rasta plus the Slaughter, because I think they have to have the Ursa. When the Naix goes into the fight, the Ursa has to jump on the Naix and start hitting him so that he can get some Fury Swipes up.
Liquid have a Force Staff though, right? On Jerax, I believe?
Jerax does not have a Force Staff.
Nobody has a Force Staff.
No,
Jerax is very poor.
We've got 2 blinks, 1 yours.
I would have really liked to see at least the Riki go for the Force. I think it's such an important item this game.
What a time to walk around. Does Liquid even realize this? Fnatic's going to turn around and mind control. Time walks in. He'll have the top of him, but Mushi tries to get a work on him. Nowhere near enough damage. They're still trying to kill him mind control. He'll time walk up more. He does not have the mana to get the Chronosphere off. So Ohio with the deafening blast. Mind control pushed back further. But Fada's doing some work. Mushi just completely isolated. But Tubberman, well, he can just armor toggle his way through the ward damage. So some heavy ultimates committed. But really, Liquid, they're still the ones to come out 2-1. No, that's not gonna hit anyone.
Another fight lost for Fnatic. And that's a 5-second BKB charge. Ursa, your lifestealer on Liquid are just getting so farmed now. And I don't know. How do you feel like they're supposed to recover? Because there was no chrono.
Not having Ohio die is going to be a good way. Force stomp down, being glued straight back up again. Mid one, he needs some level of control to help out Ohio from down the tree lines. Deafening blast past the meteorite. Burns a little bit with a Shikurigan bounce. G-Rex drops down about 109, but he'll still be able to live on that.
That was a good silence. Made sure that there was no Sunstrike follow-up, even if it was up. But being on cooldown, unable to do anything.
Yeah, I feel like Fnatic, like in that previous fight, they can't commit this Ursa to killing off the Void. Because then the next, he's just gonna do whatever he wants in that fight.
Yeah, Mushi's gonna blink right down. And more importantly, I think a big thing here is not even individual plays, but as a team, it feels like communication's a little bit off because half of Fnatic is running away trying to kill a Void, and they're not helping out their Ursa who's committed to BKB, and he's in the middle of 5 Liquid heroes. At that point, it's either you all in commit to help your Ursa out and see if you can win the fight from there, or you don't even bother taking that if you're just gonna ditch your one position like that.
Yeah, now Liquid, they're just getting more and more items. We see the lifestealer has AC, there's the Shivas on the DP up for now. I mean, 5-10 minutes up to Core just finished by far.
Support's coming, Ohio went for the crush. At least end up on Kuro, go into Tricks of the Trade. Mushi be glimpsed away. No way to inflict any kind of damage, and you've got a blink Chronosphere waiting for mind control. He'll jump in, and DJ actually blinked himself into the middle of the Chronosphere. He tried to find the control on Faceless Void with the deafening blast and the pushback. Even a Yule Scepter up from DJ. He'll die as he falls down to the ground. And Mushi Matumberman, he actually got the bash off. Mushi couldn't keep the damage pumping out. And now his team Liquid are on the run. Kuro with the gem was able to see mid one, but he cannot get him in range for Jirax to glimpse back. But you're fine, you got 2 hero kills again, and you're looking to the tier 2 tower on bot.
This is the best kind of Void game, Pycat, where you don't have anything you have to do. Like any sort of chrono at that point is a win for you.
Yeah, and I also think what you said earlier, Blitz, is this. You see this Riki when he's running around with the snakes inside him. Even if this Riki is in a troublesome situation, Liquid don't really care. They can just ditch him. Just have as long as Matumberman can run away and reset the fight, they're totally fine.
That tower is going down so quickly, and Fada didn't even have to use the exorcism for the last fight.
Never had the opportunity to do it. That BKB very early from mid one. I don't think he really meant to pop that. He just left the base, but now there's no BKB. Liquid, however, they're going to back up, or at least they would like to. Ohio get a double crush. Amplification's up to mind control. Almost looks like an intimidation blink forward. There's no Chronosphere to back it up. And Liquid don't want to overstay their welcome. They've still got tier 2 towers in the other lanes to kill before they can take more lanes of Brax.
More importantly, there's still a Roshan available for them to go back to. They know Fnatic have to all-in commit for this one fight. Like, there's no exorcism. There's a Roshan available. I think this is Fnatic's do-or-die situation.
Yeah, Fnatic have to fight right now. They have to win a fight. If it's a Roche or if it's a push towards mid lane, they really need to win a fight with the...
Well, they found one. It's going to be fun. Master moors it down. Try and get through him with the Ursa. Able to do so. So that's a 78-second window, unless you want to buy back over on the Death Prophet. Which may mean Fnatic could slip themselves into Roshan. Force some kind of reaction out from Liquid. Roshan is up. They actually break the spell immunity, so amplification's over on Roche. That's going to get him back inside the pit, so Mushi can start attacking him.
Yeah, this is awkward right now, because if Liquid hadn't lost that DP, all the pressure in the world is on Fnatic, but now a small opening.
Immortality.
This is Cheese and the Aegis, the Immortal, so Mushi's got the second life. Ohio's got the extra health and mana.
Yeah, they did have to commit the Rasta wards for the kill on the DP though, so sieging right now is going to be somewhat difficult for them.
So did you just then push it into like Observer warding and wait for Liquid to come out, wait for a kill?
I think you deal a little bit of tower damage here, and then you just run back before the DP responds and before Liquid are ready to take the fight. I actually think they should just back off right now. I don't think going for this push is going to be worth it for them.
Also, they want to push it on anyway. Kura puts down the smoke stream. Mid one just wants some chip damage from the low ground. Mind control. Again, jumps forward. Just a time dilate. Fnatic.
They're trying to force Mushi to pop the BKB.
Well, with the Hex over on Matama, and Mid one's actually going to pop his own BKB. The crush is there. But with the 4-star, Matama gets back onto the tip on tower. Oh. The Chrono! It's got all fire from mind control. Lock him in. Kill him off. The Aegis team will pop. Mid one can't escape. The respawning up hero is going to be the Ursa. Mushi, he gets the blink off. The Gem of Truth is still locked on the ground, but it's Mushi. Yules up into the air, allows the ball to come down, and just disintegrate as he hits the ground. Invoker had to buy back because they had to defend against the bottom lane that's pushing in. The Team Liquid, off the back of a massive chrono of mind control, have just repelled Fnatic. You said it wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, this is kind of why. I mean, I didn't expect him to do some. What, 4? Was that 5 man?
It was a 5-man. It was the last one walked into it. He hit 4 and then the last one walked into it.
I mean, I didn't even expect the 5-man chrono. I was, you know, I would have settled for 1 or 2 heroes. But even so, I think it's scary fighting up against Liquid in their base. They have buybacks. They have a disruptor who can glimpse heroes back when they're running.
No, it just felt like, again, Fnatic were antsy to make something happen. And you have to commit so deep for that. There's no reason to have to do that. Like you said, they can reset the game a little bit. They opened up a window of opportunity for them. And instead, you see the Rasta jump in. Mushi pops his BKB, then there's no follow-up and they're stuck inside the base.
Yeah, and it really feels like Fnatic feel like they're forced
DJ, gonna jump forward. There's the shackles over on Fada. DJ, that deafening blast buys him a little bit of space. Now he's gonna self-Yules up, try and get away from the Liquid initiation, but Fada, still standing his ground, has not committed the exorcism. He's still holding onto his ultimate, not even believing it's required to win this one, and really it's not. They're losing everything. Mid one, he can't die here. It's a dieback for him. The bounty is gone, but it's GG. Team Liquid will take game number 2.
Spirit Siphon? More like Rock Siphon.
It's the real ultimate.
It really is the real ultimate. And Fnatic, the first team eliminated from ESL One. Nothing but elimination games today. So Fnatic, well, it's not a fun way to go through.
Oh, that is absolutely heartbreaking, especially since they had that lead in the second game. They could have snowballed that into a win and maybe forced the game 3, and that's one of the worst ways that you're going to want to go out.
Yeah, I think that the Fnatic, they had what they needed in that game in the beginning. Then I felt like it's like, I didn't feel the impact from mid-1 that I wanted to see. You know, he had this great start, and then I want to see him turn that into something. But unfortunately, it didn't happen this game.
Well, at least Fnatic had a better game 2 than game number 1, and well, we'll look forward to them at the next competition. Team Liquid will have a break before they come back later today to soldier on and keep on playing in their last series, which will be the 3rd one of today, and we'll be back for that after this break.